flares seem to have got a lot of people talking because they're wondering where everyone's getting them. They're wondering how they're getting into pitches. You've had an experience yourself.
Yes, we did. Myself and three of my family, including my partner, were at the Leinster final, the Loudmead one in May 25. So it was just in relation to Flair's problem is not just related to soccer. It's also an issue for Gaelic and in Croke Park. What happened was we were booked tickets for Hill 16, and on the way in the crowd was very rowdy. The supporters, both sides, were very rowdy on the way in. A lot of them were off their heads, quite honestly, either drink or drugs or both. It was obvious.
You think a lot of fans were off their heads, is what you said. This was more than just friendly rivalry or banter going into the match, you think?
Yeah, it was. It was actually scary going in. I was a little bit worried about it going in because I'd never come across that before. I'm a rugby fan for the most part. I've never come across anything like the scenes that I saw on that day.
We're talking about the Leinster final in Croke Park last May. We're talking about Meath and Louth, but you say you've never seen anything like it among rugby fans here. I suppose this could happen among any sport, I suppose, is what we're saying in terms of flares or this behaviour. But go on, tell us what happened, Eamon.
Yeah, well, because of the situation going in, and you could see some of the fans openly doing lines of coke outside the toilets on the way into the Hill 16.
Openly doing lines of coke outside the toilets in Croke Park?
Yes, yeah. So as a result of that, we decided to not go up any distance up the hill. We stayed at the bottom. The view wasn't great, but so be it. Stayed low down for safety reasons, you know. Because
and were you at the toilet? You had your partner and your grandson, I think, as well. You said so.
Yes.
That's uncomfortable if you witness that if you're going to the toilet or bringing a child to the toilet.
Very, and I'm not easily scared type of person. I'm well able to look after myself, but this was quite intimidating. So we went in anyway, and as I say, stayed down low. And maybe 5 to 10 minutes into the game, I looked over, my partner just dropped like a sack of potatoes beside me. She fell over onto the concrete steps, just missed the steel barrier that was in front of her. But she reached out to save herself, and I went over then to help her up. One of the stewards came over. Eventually, I got one of the stewards' attention. My son helped as well to lift her up, but she was actually knocked out for about half a minute.
My goodness, and what had happened?
There was a flare right beside her, a green flare, which was still lit at the time. And the flare was lying beside her. So the flare had been thrown from further up on the hill, had struck her on the top of her cheekbone. And as the registrar said later on, when she saw her, if it had been a few millimetres higher, it could have killed her because it just missed her temple.
My goodness, because he ended up in hospital here.
Yes, she ended up in hospital and had to see several consultants. She had MRI scans done, and it was shown that she had what's called a comminuted fracture, which is more than 3 fractures in the same area. At the time, we were more concerned about her well-being and didn't really, look into the situation itself as to the reasons for around it happening. But now, that injury is still there. She's still going for physio. she on rehab and may possibly have to have surgery on it as well. It's most likely.
So various long-term injuries here from the fall. Did she have burns of any kind? Because we heard of a child getting hit here in Dundalk last week as well, and injuries to the face.
No burns. It would appear that it was the sharp end, the closed end of the flare that hit her, rather than the open flare end.
I'm so sorry to hear of this, Eamon. It sounds like a very frightening ordeal for yourself and for your grandson as well, all having to leave the match because of this. Where you believe she was, well, you saw the flare, she was hit by the flare and fell to the ground and still recovering now. How's she doing?
She's